Yes, a very good afternoon to all the children of class 11 arts, those who are present and attending the class. Class 11 arts, a very good afternoon to all of you, dear. Yes. Where are the others? Why so poor percentage today for attendance? Why is the percentage poor? I want more and more children to join. Yes. I want more and more children to join, because when you join, you know what happens. I also get the positive spirit to teach. And this is very unfortunate for this year that couple of new students are coming. New students means coming from different schools. And this is very unfortunate that we cannot see them directly or interact with them directly. So we are, whatever interaction is taking place over the chat box which we are having here. Yes, this is actually, I am not satisfied with this kind of interaction, but situations under these kinds of situations, you know, we are actually, we are helpless. We have no other way out. We have to do in this way only. Yes, number of children joining is increasing. Now, before I start, yesterday I have already repeated or once again I have recapitulated, because after a gap of 2 weeks, I have taken up the chapter of legislature. There I have taught you. Today I am supposed to talk to you, discuss with you the functions of the two houses of the parliament. I will do that. And as I have told you that I will do it in a comparative form, because I do feel that as a teacher, and I do feel that, you know, the best way to teach and the best way to remember is in a comparative way. You go for a comparative study and you will never forget. As far as my knowledge goes, it may be different for you, but being a teacher, I am here to guide you. And I will teach you in that way only, because I have been teaching for a long time, and I have seen children remembering, I have seen children giving me positive results out of this. Now, before that, you know, let me tell it to you that, you know, your 100 marks pol science paper, within that 80 marks will be for your written part and the 20 will be for your project. Clear? So, what I have planned this time is that you will start your project with, the name of the project will be Organs of Government. You can take it down. This will be your project title of the project. Clear? You are getting it, all of you. Organs of the government. So, what you will do? The moment I complete with the chapter on legislature, what you will do is that you will start with an introduction. That means what is the government in India, how many levels of government, and we are dealing with the central government. Clear? And the government is having how many parts. Then after introduction, you will put the first topic, which is legislature, and then you will describe that in India the legislature is known by the name of Union Parliament. And after that, you will start with the composition as it is given in your book, the composition, term, method of election. Clear? You will start with both the houses, and then finally you will give the powers of both the houses, the one which I will discuss now. Clear? As it is given in your book, you will do it, but provided you know, you will have to do it in the project copy of your school, and the pages which you are using should be from your school as we have been instructed. Clear? It is not my advice, it's not my point of view. This has been instructed to all the teachers, that the children, because the school stationery remains open. So, whenever it is time, you will have to get the school cover file, project file, and the papers. You have to get it from the school because you have the school logo in it. Clear? So, this will be the topic of your project. So, when I have completed legislature, you will do the project on legislature. After that, when I start with executive, you will make another fresh page with that project only, not another separate copy, because the main topic of the project is organs of government. So, first of all, you will start with legislature. When legislature is completed, you will do with executive, and when executive is completed, we will do with the judiciary. Clear? This will be the topic. Am I clear to all of you? What should be the name of the project? Yes. So, the name of the project I have given for your half yearly as well as annual, that was final exams. This will be the project. It is divided into 3 parts: legislature, executive, judiciary, and the 3 parts together will be the project for the entire year. Clear? If you have any queries, you can ask me with regard to the project, so that I can move to the part on powers of both the houses, a comparative study. Okay. So, I have already given your project work there. Now, how many houses does the Indian Parliament have? Yesterday only I have told you that the Indian Parliament or the Indian legislature is bicameral in nature. Bicameral means having 2 houses. Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha. Children, oh, देखो sir. How can I understand that? This will create a problem, sir, if I cannot get the children's response. It's blinking. It's okay. But where I cannot see anything. Nothing is there. Yes, it's coming. It's coming, it's coming. So where is the color? Okay, children. So we know that the Indian Parliament is bicameral in structure, that is 2 houses, and we will go for a comparative study. So first of all, I will start with the legislative power. What do we mean by the legislative power of both the houses of the Indian Parliament? Legislative power means, please understand, ordinary law making power, ordinary law making. Can anybody of you tell me that what is the previous form of a bill known as, or sorry, what is the draft of a law known as? What is the draft or the rough form or the previous form of a law known as? Yes, very good, bill. So before law is made, the previous form of a law or the draft of a law is known as a bill. Bill is of 2 types. One is ordinary bill. Ordinary means which includes any subject, and money bill. Another one is money bill. Money bill means which includes only with relation to finance of the country. That means money matters, tax, loan, things like that. Clear? So when we are talking about ordinary law making, so we are actually dealing with the ordinary bill. Clear? When we are talking about the legislative power of both the houses, we are actually talking about the ordinary law making power of the 2 houses, and here we are actually talking about the ordinary bill. Clear? Which includes all the subject excepting money, whereas money bill includes only money matters. Clear? So now I will discuss about the ordinary law making process. In case of legislative power, Rajya Sabha is equal to Lok Sabha. What does this mean? It means that with regard to legislative power or ordinary law making power, Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, they have equal powers. How? For example, this is the Indian Parliament. and the two houses are Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha. Clear? Now I want to make a law, and maybe the law is based on women education. Women education. Can you tell me that women education, it should fall within which bill? Ordinary bill or money bill? Yes, very good. It is ordinary bill. So as it is an ordinary bill, you can start an ordinary bill either from the Rajya Sabha or from the Lok Sabha, anywhere. For example, we are starting it from the Rajya Sabha. So Rajya Sabha has 250 members. Among the 250 members, at least 2/3 must support the bill. At least 2/3 of them must support the bill. After that, the bill moves to the Lok Sabha. Here also, amongst the total number of members, 2/3 must support it. And then after that, it goes to the president, and when the president signs it, the bill becomes a law. This is the ordinary lawmaking procedure. And in terms of ordinary lawmaking or in terms of legislative power, Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha have equal powers. Why equal powers? Because an ordinary bill can be introduced in any one of the two houses, and after being passed from both the houses, it goes with 2/3 majority, it goes to the president, and when the president signs it, it becomes a law. But if you analyze properly, if you go deeply, you will find that 90% of the ordinary bills, they are actually introduced in the Lok Sabha. In reality, although theoretically both the houses should enjoy equal powers. Why equal powers? Because a money bill can be introduced in any of the two houses. This is theoretically. But in real practice, if you find out, you will find that 90% of the ordinary bills are actually introduced in the Lok Sabha, and then from the Lok Sabha it passes to the Rajya Sabha, and then from the Rajya Sabha it goes to the president. Am I clear with the legislative power? Okay, now I will move to the financial power. What does this sign mean? It means that the Rajya Sabha is less powerful, or the Lok Sabha is more powerful than the Rajya Sabha in terms of financial powers. Here again the same process. Parliament, two houses, bill, this is a money bill, and by rule, by law, a money bill is always introduced in the Lok Sabha. Clear? After being passed from the Lok Sabha with 2/3 majority, it will go to the Rajya Sabha. Now when this money bill, it comes to the Rajya Sabha, the Rajya Sabha can make certain changes in the bill, and it can repass the bill to the Lok Sabha that we have made certain changes. Please take a look at them. But the Lok Sabha is so powerful, what it can do, it can, without changing or without paying any attention to the changes made by the Lok Sabha, by the Rajya Sabha, it repasses the bill. Now when the Lok Sabha repasses the bill, now the Rajya Sabha has nothing to do. It must have to pass the bill. But one more power the Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha has, what it can do is that at the most, before passing the bill to the president, it can delay the bill for 14 days. It can delay the bill. That means it can stop the passing of the bill to the President for 14 days. That means to teach the Lok Sabha a lesson that why didn't you pay attention to the amendments made by us, the changes in the bill made by us. So I am going to stop the bill for 14 days. But the moment 14 days are over, the Lok Sabha will consider that the bill has been passed. Clear? And then it turns into a law. Clear the second part? Financial power. Now I will move to the third power, which is here you see, Rajya Sabha again less powerful than the Lok Sabha. Why? Because, please pay attention all of you, India is a parliamentary form of government, we all know that, and the President of India is just a nominal executive. Nominal means just in name. He has very minimal or nominal powers, whereas all the powers are actually enjoyed by whom? By the Prime Minister and his Council of Ministers. Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers. Clear? Council of Ministers means a group or team of ministers, those who are going to help the Prime Minister to run the government of the country. Clear? Now, the Lok Sabha, you know, has the power to control the executive, not the nominal executive. As I told you, in India the nominal executive has no such power. The main power is actually exercised by the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers. So what can the Lok Sabha do? If the Lok Sabha is not satisfied with the function of the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers, what it can do, you know, it can pass vote of no confidence. Vote of no confidence means what? That we have no faith in you, or we no longer support you. And the moment vote of no confidence is passed, all the members must have to resign. So you can understand that the life of the entire real executive lies in the hands of the Lok Sabha. But that doesn't mean that the Rajya Sabha is extremely powerless. Yes, it has some power. What it can do? It can ask the Council of Ministers that what went wrong in your department. Council of Ministers are who? They are ministers of different departments. Maybe Department of Finance, maybe Department of Health, maybe Department of Education. They are all heads of different departments. They can ask them to come to them and they can ask them questions that why your department is not working properly. What is wrong? Where lies the problem? They can ask them questions. If required, they can set up investigation committees. They can set up investigation committees means in order to finally find out that what is the actual matter, they can arrange for investigation commission, and this investigation commission will go and they will make an inquiry that what is the problem in that particular department. This is the power of the Rajya Sabha, but it cannot dissolve them, which the Lok Sabha has. Clear? So the Lok Sabha is much powerful with regard to the executive power, as both the houses, as the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers can be removed by if the Lok Sabha passes a vote of no confidence. Now we will go to another power, that is electoral power. Electoral power, that means Rajya Sabha is equal to Lok Sabha. Why? Because when we will see in the next chapter, that is executive chapter, when we are going to elect the president and vice president of India, an electoral college is formed, and in that electoral college all the members of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, they are members of that electoral college. Only elected members, not nominated members. Nominated members will not get a chance to vote for the president or the vice president of India, only elected members. So, the members of the electoral college, they actually include the members of the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. Clear? Next one is constituent powers. I will deal with 5 powers only, and the first 3 are the most important. Here also both the houses have equal powers. Why? Because constituent power means power to amend the constitution. Amend the constitution means to change certain parts of the constitution, and here both the houses enjoy equal power. Why? Because the method which I have told you here, in order to amend a part of the constitution, you will have to include it or introduce it in the form of an ordinary bill. And as I have told you before, an ordinary bill can be introduced in any of the 2 houses, and after being passed from 2 houses, it goes to the president, and if the president signs it, that part of the constitution can be amended. So, I am dealing with these 3 powers, but the first 3 powers are the most important. So, on an overall analysis, we can find that the Lok Sabha enjoys a much more powerful position than the Rajya Sabha in India. And in the next class, I will discuss with you some special powers which are actually given to the Rajya Sabha as well as the Lok Sabha of India. This is an overall comparison, and if you compare it and study, what will happen, you will never forget. And if I give you to write only this much, that what are the powers of the Rajya Sabha, that also you can write. If I give you a powers of the Lok Sabha, you can write, and if I give you a comparison also, you can write. This is the best way to study. Clear? So, thank you very much for today. Next day, I will deal with the rest part of the chapter. Today's project topic I have given you, and bye-bye to all of you.